Okay, class, so I'm going to do a super speedy run through. If you feel like at any point it's too fast, you can press pause, you can go back and rewind, whatever you sort of need to do, but here's your speedy run through with answers all worked out for you. So number one, we are undoing subtraction with addition. So we get x equals positive 1. So you can absolutely use a calculator on this. So if you get to something like this, remember if you put in 3/8 plus 4/5 in your calculator, it's going to give you 1 7/40. If you don't see the answer in this format though, just remember you need to change the form to whatever is an equivalent correct option. Dividing by 3/8 is the same thing as multiplying by 8/3. So either way that you decide to go on that one is fine, whether you're dividing and using a calculator. And we'll get D, 72. 2 negatives make a positive. So I have H, that's not a reason to flip the sign, so H is greater than -2. Here I'm going to multiply by -4. I'm going to go ahead and take that negative with it. That is a reason to flip the sign, so be very careful with your signs on this one. Okay. We distribute, 2 negatives make a positive. Now this was a bad place to write it. This is a reason to flip the sign. A. Variables on opposite sides, we get together with the opposite sign. Compound inequality, so this is happening in all 3 places. So we have 2 is less than x, which is less than 4. So we need less than -5 or greater than 2, which is A. So we're solving for y. So 3/2 x plus 3. So we have to decide which one here is equivalent because we don't have this in the changed form. But remember, we should always recognize equivalent formats. So positive and positive. So we're going to be here. Again, same thing, but we're good, and this format matches exactly. Large fractions, so we're undoing division first. So we get t equals -20/3. You could have a -6 2/3. Right, the x's cancel out. We get a true statement. So this is all real numbers or all solutions. Either of those options would be fine. This is a reason to flip the sign. So we get t is less than or equal to -3. We rewrite this with the variable first. We'll have y is greater than 11 over 4. You could have that as 2 3/4, 2.75 for all you decimal lovers. These are on the same side, so I'm going to use the same sign. Okay, x equals 14. We need to rewrite this with the variable first. This is a compound and. So when I shade above, I get filled into the left. I get open to the right. This is compound and I don't have them overlapping anywhere, so this one is a no solution. This is a compound or. Right, so anywhere we have at least one, so we're good and we're here, which means our answer is just what we have. Open them this way. Right, we have to rewrite that with the variable first, so compound and we're in the middle. Solving for y. Could write that as x over 2 plus 2 or y equals 1/2 x plus 2. Ah, that's a positive 1/2. So we get y equals 4x plus 8. So I'm not going to necessarily write out all the sentences here, but you need to describe how to solve it, which means you should be saying something about getting the variables on the same side. And since they're on opposite sides of the equal sign, you will use the opposite sign. You should be saying something about getting your constants together and subtracting 12, and then dividing because the number is being multiplied by x. Okay, on 26, said he divided by 2 first, but he should have moved the subtracting 4 to each side first. You should be explaining something about that. And an or, you need to be talking about what's different about their graphs as well. So we should be saying something about how compound and is where we're getting both. Compound or is where we're only getting one. So and we're looking where they overlap, which is typically in the middle, or we're looking for where just one of them happens, any of those types of pieces. 28, let's see, we need to also give a correct solution. So if we distribute and we do our own work, so the correct answer you should be talking about is that x equals 2. And right here, right, we should be saying that when he distributed incorrectly and should have got a 6. These you can just do in your calculator and you can put in both forms. So 1, ABC1, ABC4. So it wants improper and mixed. So 4 and 1, 12. And then we'll change the form. Right, second ABC is doing that if you're using your calculator. So 1, ABC 5, ABC 8, minus 18, ABC 3. Okay, our absolute value. We We need both options here, so x plus 3 equals 16. X plus 3 equals negative 16. X equals negative 19, so we'll have x equals 13 and negative 19. Here we need to move this 4 first. So really, right, the positive and negative with 0 is a little bit irrelevant, so we just need one of them. So if 2x equals negative 6, so we'll get x equals negative 3. Okay, and then once we're here, right, we have this equal to a negative, so we can't split, so this is our no solution.